Thank you for joining us on Republic at 12 p.m. this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have three big stories lined up for you on the live report, but before that, a video that just came into our newsrooms a few minutes back. We are going to start with that video. But first up, the headlines this afternoon. The last video of Noida techie Yuvraj. In this video, rescuers and firefighters seen asking him if the water was deep and that help was on the way. This continued for hours together. A second notice to the massively controversial self-styled Shankaracharya. He's been given a notice by the Yogi government and could even face a lifetime ban at the Magh Mela. On Shankaracharya, let's put the visuals of Shankaracharya there. He could face a lifetime ban next. And the truth about Boeing, ladies and gentlemen, the Boeing 787 went down in Ahmedabad last June. Even US bodies are now talking about Boeing 787 and the different faults that exist on Boeing 787. The full report and the version of the father on Republic. Captain Sabharwal's father speaks to Republic, sends a message to the government, says his family is being harassed despite the truth about Boeing being hidden. Priya Sachdev goes silent. That's the sequence as Republic threw 13 questions to her on the 30,000 crore inheritance battle. Completely silent on the questions being asked. On top of 12 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, we're starting with a video that just came into our newsrooms a few minutes back. Now, in Noida, Uttar Pradesh, the story of Yuvraj, a techie who went down. He drowned in an open drain. And he died because of negligence. And there were reports about how responders went on record and said that there was delay in the help that came to him. And this video gives us clues. Watch this video carefully. Let me go full frame to that video that came in. It's the last video, accessed by Republic. It's an exclusive video. And in this video, what you can clearly see, and if I can put the video on the wall, I will explain that video. And then there is also an audio layer to it. I'd like to play the audio as well. But in this video, what is extremely clear is that you see this torchlight here. Now, this is a mobile torch that most of us have. Every mobile has a torch. This was Yuvraj in his car, flashing, holding a torchlight like that from here. And he was holding a torchlight to the rescuers. And the rescuers in this video, you can see them here. The rescuers were here and they are seen conversing. They are heard conversing with Yuvraj, saying, "We are trying to get to you." And they ask him whether the water is deep. Now, what is surprising is they are asking Yuvraj whether the water is deep. And then they say that help is on the way. They tell him help is on the way, hold on. And this went on for several hours, we are told. Let's play out this video with the audio now. Let's play that out.
बहुत अच्छे दोस्त
अपने आप को सेफ रखते हुए चल कोशिश तो कर
झाड़ियों में फंस रहा ना आदमी, पैर ही नहीं चल रहा।
क्या कह रहा है क्या बेटा? ज्यादा जी बहुत गहरा पानी, पैर भी ना आ रहे और इससे जी पीछे फ्लो कर रहा है मुझे। अच्छा आगे नहीं जाने दे रही जाके रस्सी फेंको जरा, यहाँ तो फेंको, कोशिश करो। नहीं से जाएगी जाएगी। बेटा रुक जाओ, एक गाड़ी और मैंने मंगाई है, शांत रहना, उसी जगह पे रहना।
बहुत अच्छे दोस्त
अपने आप को सेफ रखते हुए खाने के बाद देखना कितना चल कोशिश तो कर ना आगे खींचो मुझे आगे खींचो कैसे
झाड़ियों में फंस रहा ना आदमी, पैर ही नहीं चल रहा।
क्या कह रहा है क्या बेटा ज्यादा जी बहुत गहरा पानी पैर भी ना आ रहे और इससे जी पीछे फ्लो कर रहा है मुझे। अच्छा आगे नहीं जाने दे रही जैकेट रस्सी फेंको जरा यहाँ तो फेंको कोशिश करो नहीं से जाएगी जैकेट बेटा रुक जाओ एक गाड़ी और मैंने मंगाई है शांत रहना उसी जगह पे रहना पानी अधिक है।
Shravan with the video. Shravan is joining us from the Republic newsroom. Shravan, in this video, if I heard clearly, he says, "Gaadi aa rahi hai," and then he says, someone else says in the video, "Pair hi nahi chal raha hai," which means they are talking about how rescuers are not able to move. They were unable to move. How long did this go on for, Shravan? What are the facts about how long Yuvraj had to wait before he eventually drowned?
Well, this video once again indicates that this is death by negligence. Let me try and explain this. The sequence of events. The first call actually went in to his father. Yuvraj's father received the call, and immediately thereafter, the local police station was actually involved. This was just after midnight is when the first call actually went in. It seems that a PCR van had already reached the spot, but they essentially realized that they did not have enough equipments. The fire brigade was also informed at the same point in time, but they came in a little later. Roughly, it turns out that 30 to 35 minutes had already passed by the time this incident actually took place. Now, there is a second call that actually goes to Yuvraj's father, where he once again makes this attempt to actually reach out to his father and to those who were carrying out the rescue operation, that they need immediate help. Now, from this particular video, the exact time, Niranjan, is not really known, because this is the time when the local police, as well as what we are being told, the fire brigade services had already reached there. But when they reached the spot, they did not come with the necessary equipments. In fact, the rope that was essentially being used wasn't long enough, and it seems that they did not have any divers. In fact, an attempt was actually made by the authorities to actually go by in the nearby villages to find out if anyone was actually willing to dive in the water. If you go by the testimony of the eyewitness here and the first responder, he says, the initial statement where he said that they were reluctant to get inside the water simply because it was freezing water. And the fact is that there was a considerable amount of time that had already passed, and resulting in a situation where they were unable to really help him. This particular video once again indicates a lack of equipment. Second, necessary timely intervention was not really done. And the third, which is perhaps extremely surprising, is when you have those who are supposed to carry out the entire rescue operation are the ones who are basically telling Yuvraj that try and come out on your own.
Yes. Shravan, I think we'll have to investigate when the calls went out and the timing of these calls so that we find out what the delay was. Thank you for joining us with that video. We'll look into that. Ladies and gentlemen, we here at Republic TV are still asking for answers of what really happened in Ahmedabad in June 2025. A US-based aviation safety advocacy group has now alleged that the Air India Boeing 787 that crashed in Ahmedabad on the 12th of June 2025 had a long history of technical problems, claiming safety concerns linked to the aircraft type, which are being downplayed globally. They feel that there is something being hidden. The Foundation for Aviation Safety has said it submitted a presentation to the US Senate asserting that the aircraft experienced system failures from its first day of service in 2014, including electrical, software and wiring faults, power losses and overheating components. They have cited analysis of more than 2,000 Boeing 787 system failure reports and pointed to specific incidents such as a power panel failure in January 2022, landing gear system faults in April 2022, and Boeing, while responding to the claims, has said it would defer to India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau in line with international investigation protocols. But here's the report, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what is surprising is despite reports, despite people, groups suggesting that Boeing has to introspect and that Boeing has to answer and that Boeing had a history of technical faults, there are people in India who are harassing pilots, harassing families of pilots, going after the pilot of AI-171, that plane that went down in Ahmedabad. the father of Captain Sabharwal, who was the pilot on the flight, the AI-171 flight, sent a message to Republic. Here is his message, as his family is harassed. Not just the fact that India and Indian groups and investigators are trying to point fingers at pilots, but also the fact that relatives of a pilot are being harassed, called for investigations when it's not even related. Here is the audio message that Captain Sabharwal's father sent to Republic.
Prayagraj Sabharwal, father of late Captain Swami Sabharwal, express my sincere gratitude to Captain Randhawa and the Federation of Indian Pilots for standing with our family with dignity and professionalism in our pursuit of truth and fairness. While we continue to grieve, we have faced repeated distress in the name of inquiry. I am constrained to state that AIB, for persistently attempted to call the youngest pilots of our family for questioning, despite their having no connection whatsoever with the case. This has caused unnecessary trauma and amounts to harassment of a bereaved family. I appeal to the Government of India to take urgent cognizance of this. An accident investigation must be independent, evidence-led, and are conducted with sensitivity, not through pressure or intimidation. It is for these reasons that we were compelled to approach the Honorable Supreme Court for protection and due process. My son, Captain Sumit Sabharwal, was a thorough professional and a man of integrity. He had a spotless flying career during his service for more than 25 years. And any attempt to prejudge the outcome or threaten, blame without complete technical evidence is unjust and contrary to the principle of natural justice and aviation safety. Our only request is for fair, transparent, and impartial investigation free from prejudice and victimization.
I'm going across to Captain Randhawa, who's the president of the FIP. And this Boeing report, Captain Randhawa, has flagged technical issues with Boeing 787. And it makes a specific mention of the Ahmedabad crash as well. Now, essentially what this safety group is trying to indicate is that this plane, this model, had tech glitches. And despite the tech glitches being flagged in the case of the Ahmedabad crash, there appears to be an attempt to harass the family of the pilot. Otherwise, they wouldn't have summoned a relative of the pilot. Now, what do you make of the developments and the fact that even the US claims there's a Boeing cover-up now?
Niranjan, good afternoon. I am very concerned about the accident which took place in Ahmedabad. And from day one, the Federation of Indian Pilots has maintained a standoff that there have been multiple electrical glitches and electrical failures on the Boeing 787 aircraft, especially with the Air India fleet. However, our views and suggestions have been thrown out of the window, whether it is to the ministry, whether it was to the AIB, or whether it was to the DGCA. We have clearly spelled out that there are spate of problems of electrical systems in this aircraft, And this aircraft also had a history, which you rightly pointed out, what the FAS has brought up, and it's come up in the Senate by the whistleblower. It is very, very evident that they're trying to hide things, and they're not exposing the Boeing, and even in the investigations, they have not checked the electrical systems, in spite of repeated reminders that these fleets need to be grounded and checked for electrical problems. They have not done it. Okay, and on the contrary, they continue to harass the Captain Sumit Sabharwal's family. First, it was the father, and then it has been the nephew and the nephew's other nephew's wife. Now, the point of issue is that why don't they do a transparent inquiry? And for that reason, we have been demanding, since July, we have been demanding a judicial probe, which will have more transparency and accountability. And it will not be carried out the way it is being done by the AAIB. Every second day, they land up into US with the black box. The second time they went with the black boxes to US. What was the need? When you have set up a full lab in Delhi, which the minister said we had spent so much of money and now it is capable of handling all the aircraft accidents and decode the DFDRs and the CVRs. So this is a deliberate attempt now to save the Boeing company, and they're trying to find scapegoats and put the blame on the pilots because they are dead. They're not there to defend themselves. So there is an urgent need. We are still in the Supreme Court that a judicial probe should be held and this inquiry should be stopped, because this is coming to no conclusion. And even when we had demanded that there should be subject matter experts in this inquiry, it was not granted. And only, I think, Captain R.S. Sandhu was taken on board. And we do not know if there were any engineers of avionics and engines and airframe which have been taken on board for this inquiry. Then the next point is, the government is not intervening at all. They're just watching the fun.
Yes.
The third point, we have been saying that as per ICAO Doc 9756, Part 1, which states about the qualification and the requirements of the aircraft accident investigation boards. I don't think so. Most of the people who are presently 5 of them, they qualify. Thirdly, it's not independent at all. It reports to Ministry of Civil Aviation. So what kind of AIB do we have in this country? So we have no faith in what they're doing, and we constantly say so. And our stand has been so till now, and we continue to fight till justice is granted.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you for joining us on the show, Captain Randhawa. This is a very serious issue. In fact, we will be in touch with you because the appeal of the father of Captain Sabharwal is extremely disturbing. He says his family is being harassed. You heard the tone in his voice when he sent that audio message. We will play that out in just a bit. But I want to quickly, before we end the show, get your attention to another story that we have been tracking very closely here on Republic. The inheritance battle. Priya Sachdev is the wife of late Sanjay Kapoor. There's a 30,000 crore estate empire that a family is fighting for. Priya Sachdev was in court yesterday. We tried speaking to her. This is the full sequence. My colleague Riyanka was there. She asked her a few questions. Watch this.
Priya, do you have to say anything about Rani Kapoor filing a suit against you?
You have to say something.
Anything about Rani Kapoor you want to say?
Allegations clearly
There
that
are allegations of conspiracy. Anything you want to say about it?
And in fact, taken away all the wealth.
Priya, do you want to? What's your response?
Suit has been filed before the Delhi High Court regarding
There's a suit of conspiracy that has been filed against you. Do you want to say anything about it?
It's all a concocted theory. There's nothing, no truth in that. We will see that we contest that in court. And today,
Rani Kapoor is calling to dissolve the family trust. Do you have to say anything on it?
So
what are your allegations?
Any response?
Multiple allegations. We have given.
Priya, any
evidence.
response?
Have appeared today. We have given evidence. Now the court has issued notice to Mandira and the other four accused for 12th of March.
Priya Mandira has denied your claims.
Sir. हम लोग तो महीने से फाइल
Priya Mandira has denied your claims. Priya, do you have to say anything about Rani Kapoor filing a suit against you?
You have to say something.
Anything about Rani Kapoor you want
There
to
have been
say?
allegations clearly
There
that
are allegations
you have,
of conspiracy. Anything you
misled,
want to say
Rani
about
Kapoor
it?
And in fact taken away all the wealth.
Priya, do you want to? What's your response?
Suit has been filed before the Delhi High Court regarding
There's a suit of
something to say about
will not say anything.
conspiracy that has been filed against you. Do you want to say anything about it?
It's all a concocted theory. There's nothing, no truth in that. We will see that we contest that in court. And today,
Rani Kapoor is calling to dissolve the family trust. Do you have to say anything on it?
so
what have your allegations?
Any response?
multiple allegations. We have given.
Priya,
evidence.
any response?
Witnesses have appeared today. We have given evidence. Now the court has issued notice to Mandira and the other four accused for 12th of March.
Priya Mandira has denied your claims.
Sir. हम लोग तो महीने से फाइल
Priya Mandira has denied your claims.
13 questions but no answers given. Riyanka was there tracking Priya Sachdev yesterday. She appears to be silent. Morning was very evasive with the media, but it appeared that she wanted to sort of front-foot it in the evening, but still was silent. Riyanka.
That's right, Rajan. As we saw when I tried to confront Priya Sachdev Kapoor when she was moving out of the Patiala House Court after an extensive statement recording in terms of the case, a criminal defamation case that she had filed against Mandira Kapoor Smith. Her statements were recorded in front of the additional Chief Judicial Magistrate yesterday, which was an extensive one. When she left the premises finally and we got to ask her questions, she completely denied to talk to us. She evaded the questions that we had put forward. She dodged the questions regarding Rani Kapoor filing a suit against her. She did not respond at all to the questions that I put forward, confronting her. What was her response? Whether she wanted to say anything, because Rani Kapoor called her a fraud. Rani Kapoor clearly in her suit mentioned that how Priya Sachdev had in fact fraudulently somewhere diverted the family assets, the funds which belonged to Rani Kapoor apparently by misleading her, by cheating her to the RK Trust. So those were the developments that we tracked. Back to the studios.
Yes. Okay, thank you for that. 13 questions, no answers from Priya Sachdev. Hopefully, we should be able to get her interview. We invite Priya Sachdev to give us an interview. We'll ask you the questions, Priya Sachdev, because I think people want to hear her. They've heard the other side. They've heard Mandira Kapoor. Maybe they want to hear the version of the wife of late Sanjay Kapoor as well. That's it on this edition. Coming back with the headlines and the breaking video of the Noida techie, the last video that raises more questions on the negligence. Stay tuned.